More news on the right to repair front. We're going to talk about the rest of the Farm Bill today and a lot more on the Arkansas AgCast.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
Man, got my cords all tangled up over here.
You all right?
Like somebody's trying to kidnap me. Tie my legs up.
Pull you under the table?
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Hey, happy Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday. The week we're halfway, past halfway.
Everybody that I've talked to this week is like, is it Friday? Like, yesterday felt like it should have been Friday a little bit. I don't know. I'm guessing it's the time change. I don't know what the culprit
It's still
is,
affecting me. I can honestly say that.
And the baby too.
And the baby too.
Yeah.
Working home.
Yeah. I know our kiddo is like dragging a teenager out of bed in the mornings. She does not want to wake up. I went in there this morning wondering if she was in there. All buried under the covers, did not want to wake up too early.
Anthony's wanting to go to bed earlier because of the time and wake up earlier. So it's ruining my routine.
Yeah, like, hey, buddy, it's still dark out at 7.
Yeah.
Man, it's a good-looking pullover.
Thanks, man. I really like this pullover.
Yeah.
If you like it, let me know. The guys here tend to like it as well, it sounds like.
So we were talking off air, and a couple weeks ago, you guys got to know, before we start recording this thing every week, for about 15 minutes, we just come in here and shoot. I mean, we were talking everything from Princess Bride to food and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, you told us a story about a pullover that you purchased that you liked so much. You had to
it made me feel like a kid again.
Yeah, it made you feel like a kid again. You had to put it on before you left the store.
Yeah. You know how you got a new pair of shoes as a kid, right?
Make you jump higher.
And like, man, I want to wear these out of the store.
Man, I've done it.
Yeah.
I think I told you guys the shoes that I'm wearing I wear out of the store.
And I tried this pullover on, and the guy was like, you want to wear it out of the store? I said, yeah, I do. Actually, I'm 36 years old, but yes, I do want to wear this out of the store.
So 2 seconds before we started recording, Matthew goes, hey, John, is that pullover you wore out of the store?
Yes, sir.
And Mac just died. We all died laughing in here. So it was a great way to start.
Good laugh.
The show. One of the things that we hear a lot is you guys you sound like you have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You make me feel like I'm sitting down with some buddies and talking about farming and whatever. And I tell you, it's honest.
Yeah. That's honest.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun in here, and we make each other laugh, which is a good thing. So why are you wearing that?
Razorbacks play today.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Root 'em on. Illinois. Was it at like 11? No, it's at 3:30.
3:30.
3:30, I think.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I'm rooting on my team.
Like they're 8 and 9 seed or something like that.
Yeah, I think we're 8 and Illinois is 9. Is that right?
That is correct.
It'll be a good game.
Yeah, for sure. Did you fill out a bracket?
I did. Did you?
Who do you? I did. Some buddies of mine started doing this a couple years ago. We do a human picked bracket.
Yeah.
What I would pick, and then we do an auto generated and put them all in the same bracket challenge just to see who does better. So
my wife's trying to. Every year she'll get see the dogs try to pick a bracket.
Yeah.
This year it was the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll just
point a toe over here.
Yeah, she'll put a hand up here for one team and over here. And
yeah. That's pretty cute.
It's
we've done it before with mascots. We've done it before with coin toss. Here's the deal. Your little pea brain doesn't really do much better than any chance and things like that. At least mine doesn't. Who did you pick?
And this year, I got Purdue. I'm not real confident in that.
Yeah.
Bama's really good.
They are.
Trying to think. Houston's good.
Mm-hmm. So I went through and did mine first, and I chose Houston.
Yeah.
And then I did the auto pick, and it also chose Houston.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit vindicating.
Wife gave a good point though. If Arkansas can get past Illinois, and if they beat Kansas, they could really go.
It kind of opens up after that, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fun to watch. One of my favorite times. I don't really pay a ton of attention to basketball throughout the season, but as soon as the tournament gets here, man, I'm dialed.
Yeah.
in, you know, I guess a lot of people are like that, though.
Yeah.
That being said, we do have some actual information to share with you. The Arkansas Century Farm application is open from the Arkansas Department of Ag. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if if your farm has been operating for 100 years, you can apply, go through that process, and pretty cool to see those signs when you're driving down the road. The application is available at agriculture.arkansas.gov. Must be postmarked by May the 31st. You can get all the information there, but certainly if you think you qualify, hop in there and get involved in that program. It's cool to be recognized. And then just a side note here of potential impact for anybody who may be going out and using WMAs right now. Game and Fish is temporarily closed access, or is temporarily closing access to 6 areas in order to address the feral hog situation, which is sort of what makes it relevant to the ag industry here. They've got specifics on their website, including the dates for when they're going to close each of those and the times that they'll be closed. And then there's some phone number and some names there where you can call and get more information about that if you're interested.
Yeah, Tyler Oxner's at a Game and Fish meeting right now.
Really?
Representing our department. So I asked him to check in on that, see if they said anything. We can report back on that one.
Yeah, good. Other than that, we've got more freeze warnings. I think there's another freeze warning today. Certainly headed into some cold temperatures over the weekend. I think Sunday's high is 44.
It has started in this room. So.
Yeah. Started when we started this podcast this year.
Thank you for bringing up the 4th or 5th character of this show, which is the temperature of our studio.
Exactly.
I can't believe we made it this far without talking about it.
If it wasn't for this pullover, I'd be a little uncomfortable.
Very nice pullover. Let me see. Yeah. So I think, we've got to be seeing some impacts to farmers right now. I reached out to a couple, haven't heard back, but our fruit farmers specifically probably are concerned about this.
Strawberry farmers are going to have most of their stuff covered right now.
Yeah.
So they should be okay.
Okay.
Other things like peaches. I think it was a few years ago, there was a freeze in April that really caught. If those peaches are still in kind of a bud and it hadn't flowered open yet, that'll cause a lot of damage. But I don't know if we're there yet with peaches. So they may be okay. But peaches in general are just really insensitive.
Yeah. I mean, probably the freeze is more concerning because we've hit 70 and 80 degrees. I mean, timing wise, it's not that big of a show. I mean, we certainly have had snow on spring break and things like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, just, it's certainly going to slow row crop farming or planting down, especially with all the rain combined with, soil temperatures and things like that.
Be one of those years again.
Yeah, that's what certainly. I mean, everybody's going to be busting to try and get out there. So anyhow, and then I thought I'd talk about a pretty cool experience that Matthew, one of our producers here on the show, came back. An adventure he went on last week. Have you ever seen an emu?
Not in person.
Yeah?
I got to hear a lot about it at the Arkansas Grown Conference, though.
Oh, really?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if our video subject was there. Yeah. So Matthew and Shaylee from our team went out and shot a video on emus that is coming. But I learned a ton about those guys.
The alpha gal here you got, that was the reason this person kind of got into it, because she had it.
Yeah.
And that's why she started producing or
Is
raising.
that the farmer? A little bit of a spoiler alert, but that's the farmer that we went out and talked to.
Yeah.
She's got quite the herd.
Does she?
Uh-huh.
Sounded like it.
And a very cool story. You'll have to watch a video to see that. But, yeah, the alpha-gal syndrome is what sort of has gotten this thing going, really.
Yeah.
I think we used to raise quite a bit of emu
Yeah.
in the state before, or long ago, maybe I'll say. But this alpha-gal syndrome, which basically impacts people, makes them not able to eat red meat.
Yeah.
But emu can imitate that. Not imitate it, but it is red meat, I guess.
Yeah,
It's,
it kind of
that is
replaces
safe.
that in their diet, and they said it's similar to a beef.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. So keep an eye out for that. I think we're going to put it out next week, this week or next. So watch our social channels for that.
It's an interesting topic and interesting story. So, but if nothing else, watch the video so you can hear how they sound.
That's what I was wondering.
I mean,
are we, hopefully we captured.
oh, you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's really, really wild.
Like
I thought I knew what they sounded like.
Like a chest rumbling something
Yeah,
right
like-
here. Yeah.
Really?
very
Yeah.
deep.
So the other thing that we learned through this process is that Farm Bureau used to have a ratite commodity division, which is for emu and ostrich producers.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be a pretty big deal. So cool to see it coming back, and I think the alpha-gal syndrome is probably part of that.
Yeah, she kind of made it sound like, to me, when we talked in person at the conference, that was the biggest push or demand in that product.
Yeah. Well, pretty neat. Anyway, you'll be able to find that on our social channels. We were all enamored by the conversation and the recap of going out to shoot that video the other day, so I thought I'd bring it up. Well, it's Thursday as we're recording this, and we'll release it on Thursday. You may be listening on Friday. If so, happy St. Patrick's Day. Top of the morning to you. Tomorrow's
Look at
St.
ours.
Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the holiday. I think it's fun. I have fond memories from school growing up. Coming in, the teacher painted leprechaun prints on your desk.
Where you're green, you get pinched.
Yeah,
Right?
don't get pinched.
Yeah.
But food also a heavy topic within the St. Patrick's Day
It is.
celebrations. So I thought I'd ask you guys, if you're picking, you've got to pick the menu for the St. Patrick's Day party at your house. Are you going corned beef and cabbage, bangers and mash, or shepherd's pie? Brian?
Well, I want to throw it all off the rails because
None of the above?
it's always a different thing every year. St. Patrick's Day is actually my anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, we did not realize that when we got married.
Ask it. You
Yeah.
read my mind. Is
Yeah.
that intentional?
No,
Did you have a green wedding cake?
no,
No?
we did not.
When did you realize? Like leading up to, after you set the date, but before?
No, it was the day.
You were at the altar and the
See,
preacher reach over and pinch you.
Well,
You're
when-
not wearing green.
we were on spring break.
Okay.
And we came back to town and had been talking. We'd gone to Tennessee to visit my wife's family, and we get back to town, and it was a Sunday night, getting ready to go back to work, and we had been talking about marriage and the possibility. She walked in, and she's like, "Let's do it. I'm ready."
Most people get tattoos on spring break.
I know. We talked about that too at one point, but
Were y'all in Vegas?
no. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway,
So she says, "Let's do it," and then
and I said, okay, like when? She goes, now. Like, can we do it tonight? Like, well, it's a Sunday night. We don't have a license.
yeah.
It's going to be kind of hard. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we went to work. We went on our lunch break, got the license, and then got married that afternoon.
At the
And
courthouse, I guess, or
No, we got married at a park here in West Little Rock. That was our favorite park, and went out to eat that night, and realized, holy smokes!
there's a bunch of green beer in here.
Yes, what is up with all the green? And oh my gosh, we got married on St. Patrick's Day.
That's such a
Easy.
great story.
It's easy to remember now.
You got the
but
luck of the Irish with you now.
Yeah,
for the- as
exactly.
far as-
There's
Well,
that. There's
you know,
that.
I do come from a long line of McCartneys. So
Yeah.
Do you really?
I do.
Paul in there?
Paul McCartney was actually my grandfather's name.
Really?
You're about to say
Man,
who's your
that guy.
grandfather.
I swear
I mean,
I did.
that's
I was
kind of
like,
that's kind of what it
we-
feels like. So
Prove
anyway,
it.
I told you I was going to take it off the rails. There you go.
You took it way off the
But,
rail.
but We have done bangers and mash and
Yeah.
shepherd's pie. And
But usually steak or something because it's your anniversary.
yeah, well, I mean, we
good fish.
may do a charcuterie board tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Heck yeah,
Kind
man.
of crazy.
I'm gonna go with, I don't know. Have you ever had corned beef like egg rolls?
Like Reuben egg
Yeah.
rolls.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Man.
Yeah.
Those are great.
There's a place in downtown Argenta who has great, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Dugans
that
used to
the
have
corned
them,
beef
too.
and cabbage kind of remind me of that. Those are really good. Shepherd's pie kind of and bangers and mash is more of a wintertime type heartier meal for me, I guess.
Well, it's going to be 40.
But I don't eat. Yeah, that's true. I'll be honestly, I'm not a very. I got a lot of Irish and Scottish in me. So if you
don't
can't tell,
say.
I don't know if it's the red beard.
I mean, I hate to
My niece the other
judge
day
a book by its cover.
was
but
looking at like a little picture book and it had two leprechauns, like a grown one and like a little baby one. And my niece was like, "Oh, there's Uncle John and Anthony." I was like, wow. Can't argue with that. She's 3, I think.
Oh, my gosh. That's great.
That is awesome.
My son's also fairly fair-skinned, and he's got some red hair.
Some red hair coming in.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
Well,
So yeah, I don't eat a whole lot of these foods, but when I do, it's probably the corned beef.
is that not hilarious?
That is too good.
Yeah. I don't eat a lot, but I'm a fan of shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I like
For
it
sure.
too.
Yeah. I'm not a cabbage eater. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that right now.
I like cabbage.
I've got a buddy that loves to put it on the smoker and cook it in, wrap it in foil and cook it on the smoker.
Oh yeah,
for a while.
I've seen
And
that. I've
it's-
never had it though.
That's about the only way I'll eat it, and even then, it's just a little bit. I don't know. I eat coleslaw, but
Yeah.
I don't think that counts. But all right, well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Wear your green, don't get pinched, and
Unless
happy
you want to.
anniversary.
I mean,
Unless you want to, I guess. Sounds like torture to me, but so never know. And happy anniversary to Brian and the Star.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's been married a while.
He has.
Just a little bit.
He wasn't talking about this past Monday.
I know, but still, every year is another move forward.
John, congratulations on making it another year.
Yeah,
You're
see?
right. You're right.
Thank you.
Point well made.
Thank you.
John will have a gift for you tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be green.
All right, geez. I guess it's time to move on to the news. And like we do, we'll start with the weekly legislative update. We're reporting on the 10th week of the general session. We've now had more than 1,100 bills filed across the session, and we're going to track a little over 50 of those, or we're tracking a little over 50 of those. We're certainly not going to talk about 50 today. But let's kick it off with SB 324, a bill we've talked a lot about during Farmers Day at the Capitol conversation, as Jared noted when he was on the show, that you've likely heard by now. This bill is meant to address the hardships young and self-employed farmers face when it comes to affordable health coverage for themselves and their families. The bill saw its first bit of action this week, going before the Insurance Committee and passing out of committee on Tuesday.
That's good.
I will tell you, it was supposed to be, and my script says it was on the Senate floor, going to the Senate floor this afternoon. Jared stopped me just on the way down here and said it actually went yesterday and passed the Senate floor yesterday, which means it will now be headed on to the House. Moving on from there, HB 1003. This is the beginning farmer tax credit bill. That's moving again. It was stalled for a bit, but it's expected to be in the House Revenue and Taxation Committee this week. There are a number of other ag-related bills on both sides of the Capitol right now. I believe we listed more than 10 in our legislative update email on Monday. We'll send out an updated version of that email tomorrow, so please be on the lookout. And that wraps up our legislative update for the week, so we'll move on to some news.
Cool. All right. So more big news coming out of American Farm Bureau Federation regarding the right to repair issue. So if you didn't, remember, we reported on this a few months ago with John Deere coming out and agreeing to MOU with American Farm Bureau for the right to repair.
Beginning of the year.
So just this last week, AFBF announced that they have signed another right to repair MOU with Case IH and New Holland that provides farmers and ranchers with a right to repair their own farm equipment. We reported on this back in January, like I said, with AFBF. Signed the first MOU with John Deere. This is an issue that farmers across the country have been dealing with for a long time, especially since all the upgrades in technology and whatnot. So
yeah, no doubt.
This is kind of the focus of that. So AFBF President Zippy Duvall was quoted saying, "Our members urge us to find a private sector solution that gives them access to repair their own equipment. And I'm pleased months of discussions have again paid off."
Yeah.
Kurt Coffey, Vice President of Case IH North America, said, "We know that agricultural equipment is one of the most significant investments for the American farmer. As a Farm Bureau member myself, and brand leader, this MOU is a positive step forward in continuing to put the customer in the center of everything they do." So I thought that was pretty interesting that he's a
Farm Bureau member
and a farmer.
Yeah.
Similar to this agreement with John Deere, this MOU will allow farmers and independent repair facilities access to CNH industrial brand manuals, tools, product guides, and information to self-diagnose self-repair machines, as well as the opportunity to purchase diagnostic tools and order products and parts.
Nice.
However, the MOU respects intellectual property rights and recognizes the need to ensure safety controls and emission systems are not altered.
Okay.
AFBF plans to meet semi-annually with these companies to review the agreement and address any new concerns. As technology improves, they want to make sure that stuff's included, or if just trying to monitor those situations as they.
Well, it's great to know that it's not just a one and done. That it's we can adapt as farmers need to, and things like that.
And when they made that one with John Deere, they were saying this was the goal to reintroduce more manufacturers, more companies into this agreement.
Yeah. And you did a media interview when when the John Deere MOU was announced. And do you recall some of the benefits of being able to do this?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest impacts is just time.
Yeah.
And back when I was doing GPS work, there was only two of us. So, and how many customers do we have all across eastern Arkansas?
Goodness. Yeah.
When a GPS system or satellite goes down, it's hard to remember how to drive a tractor again. But more specifically, as efficient as those machines are with that equipment and technology now, you just can't replicate it.
Yeah.
So if that's down, then your tractor's down, and I may not be able to get to you for a few days. So now the farmer can go do that stuff himself.
Yeah, and you can just hop off the piece of equipment and start working on it.
Yeah, and it's more advanced now. It's in planers and sprayers and dirt moving equipment. You know, it's money is time.
Yeah, no doubt. So, yeah, it all comes down to the dollars and cents here.
Time is money, whichever way you want to say that.
I think both ways work. Yeah. Well, good. That's a good one.
All right. Let's take a short break from the news to hear a bit about our foundation and the role it plays in Arkansas.
All right.
At the heart of Arkansas are its farm families. The Arkansas Farm Bureau Foundation works to provide financial support to rural communities. Since its creation, the foundation has donated more than $1.5 million to community disaster assistance, egg in the classroom materials, MASH scholarships, support of Arkansas FFA and 4-H, sponsoring local events, and donations to other charitable organizations. Through our efforts, we have had the opportunity to impact lives in every county in the state. We believe by investing in local communities, we will improve the lives of Arkansas families. Help us ensure the future of agriculture and the rural way of life by donating today.
The work of our foundation is so important across this state. If you've not taken the time to learn about this work, you can do so at arfb.com. All right, we talk a lot about the Farm Bill on this show. We've been talking a lot about the 4 big titles lately, but I thought it'd be helpful if we took a few minutes to talk about the what else, I'm using air quotes if you're listening, of the Farm Bill. I drew inspiration for this segment from a piece that Barrett Nelson at American Farm Bureau published.
Yeah.
He published this as part of the Market Intel blog this week, and it's helpful to understand how the entire Farm Bill lines out, in my opinion.
Which can be very complicated.
Super complicated, and hopefully we'll help explain that and not make it more complicated. But to set the stage here, about 99% of the Farm Bill outlays go to nutrition, crop insurance, commodities, and conservation titles, with the other titles, I'm using air quotes again, making up the last 1%. He makes the point that the remaining 1%, or the other category, has huge impacts on rural Americans, which accounted for more than 45 million people in 2020. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to sort of have this conversation here. The Farm Bill is made up of titles. That's the first sort of 101 there. So we'll use those terms here in this story. Title 5 deals with credit. So we talked about the first 4. We're skipping right past those, and we're into Title 5. Deals with credit, and Barrett notes how crucial the relationships between a farmer and their lender can be. This title is where the lending and financial aspects of farming and rural life come into play, items such as FSA loans and the farm credit system.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. So let's see here. Moving on to Title 6, Rural Development. This title has been a part of the Farm Bill since the early 70s and addresses all programs administered by USDA's Rural Development Agency. There's a lot addressed in this title, including rural health outcomes, broadband, community, and economic development programs, water and wastewater treatment, rural energy, electrification, cybersecurity, and a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot of topics we talk about on a regular basis here, and that's all in Title 6. In Title 7, that's all about R&D, research and development, which has seen a decrease in spending by the U.S. The article actually notes that between 1990 and 2013, the U.S. share of spending in the category of R&D fell from 22% to a little over 13%. So, and this title is where funding for research, extension, and education for land-grant universities is managed.
I'd be interested to know why that's going down.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like I don't know if that's
Slowing
being handing off to private entities, or what. I think that's an interesting question to ask. And then Title 8 is all about forestry. This title has been something you definitely know about. This title has been authorized in the past 5 out of the 6 farm bills. Remember, the farm bill is expires every 5 years.
Yeah.
So 5 out of the 6 farm bills, Title 8 has passed and has been responsible for the reauthorization, repeal, modification, and creation of several land management and forestry research assistance programs run by USDA's Forest Service. And that takes us to Title 9, into the topic of energy, and more specifically, bioenergy. I think you're going to talk a little bit about this today. But bioenergy is energy derived from agricultural or forestry feedstocks and can come in the form of liquid fuels, biomethane, electricity, or heat. This title covers REAP, or the Rural Energy for America program, and RESP, the Rural Energy Savings Program, and other programs as it pertains to energy. And really, in summary, there's a lot to cover in the other categories of the Farm Bill. And I just thought this was a great article, to share. One of the things that we hear sometimes is, I love the information I get on the podcast. I wish you did a little bit deeper dive. Yeah. We're sort of testing that out here a little bit on this deep dive into the Farm Bill. But anyway, this article has a ton more information than we certainly had time to share here. And you can find it on Farm Bureau's website. Just go to fb.org/market-intel, or just probably search Farm Bill and Market Intel, and you'll get there. Anyway, hope that's helpful. Hope somebody learned something about the Farm Bill today. And
as much as complicated as Farm Bill is every 5 years, I think that's pretty worthwhile information to pass on. And one thing, when we talked to Bozeman, we talked about nutrition being such a huge part of that Farm Bill, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it says Farm Bill, not Nutrition Bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
But moving on, like Jason said, we've got some biofuel news, kind of sticking with that federal level information or news coming out. Earlier this week, new legislation was introduced to allow for year-round E15 sales nationally before the upcoming driving season, which begins June 1st. And you'll see that on your gas pumps, E10, E15, it's ethanol.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So Senators Deb Fischer, Republican Nebraska, and Amy Klobuchar, Democrat Minnesota, members of the Senate Agriculture Committee, introduced the Consumer and Fuel Retailer Choice Act. Okay. The bill has the endorsement of the National Corn Growers Association, National Farmers Union, American Farm Bureau Federation, and the Renewable Fuels Association, just to name a few. It's a long list. So,
I bet.
The bill received wide acclaim with ethanol, agriculture, and petroleum interest. The Tom Hag, president of the National Corn Growers Association, said the bipartisan support of the legislation is reason for Congress to pass the measure. The choice for low-cost, low-emission E15 at the pump saves drivers millions of dollars a year and increases the fuel supply to improve our energy security.
Yeah.
Renewable Fuels Association president and CEO Jeff Cooper said ethanol producers, oil refiners, fuel retailers, equipment manufacturers, and farmers have all come together to support this common-sense legislation that ensures year-round availability of lower-cost, lower-carbon E15 at the pump. This was kind of a short little clip. There was not a whole lot of detail on it right now.
Yeah.
But we'll continue to monitor this bill as it moves forward through the federal government and Senate legislature.
I think we did this last summer.
Probably because
gas prices were higher than they are now, certainly. But I think we did this as sort of a price relief method.
Yeah.
And so it's probably really similar.
Yeah, one of the issues here, as I said, year-round E15 sells nationally.
Yeah.
There was a timeline of when they could sell this product.
That's right.
And the article didn't really explain why, but it involved the EPA and a lot of different issues. So as more information comes out, I'll gladly push this and monitor as we go.
Please do. My old buddy Neil Caskey is it.
So all you corn producers, this would be a really good thing.
Yeah, no doubt. He's at National Corn Growers Association now. I know they're happy to see that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps up the news this week, which makes me really sad because it's time for Brian to stump the host. And I went back and listened to last week. I just want you to know. And actually, you know why? Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, it's your dad. I listened this week. I was proud of you guys getting those answers right. I was like, thanks, Dad. Ones. But when Brian told you that those were made for kids, I just about lost it. I was like, and so that's what made me go back and listen to it. And I'm like, well, we were riding a high.
Yeah.
We were proud of ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Finally.
Dropped that.
A few episodes.
And I could just see you over there just like, yeah, they're very proud of themselves. I'm going to drop this bomb on them.
Oh.
Anyway.
Y'all ready for more?
What do you have for us today?
No.
What word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly?
Incorrectly?
Incorrectly. Was that your answer, or was it? Yeah, or were you?
There
asking?
you go.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
See, I told you I'd give you an easy one.
I appreciate it. Build us up to break us down.
Yeah.
All right. Given the weather that we're impending today, recording, a man goes out in heavy rain with nothing to protect him. His hair does not get wet. How does he do that?
He doesn't have any.
He's bald.
See, I thought I'd take it easy on you guys this week.
Come on, man.
All right, you need a harder one?
No.
Because it sounds like you need a harder one.
Sure.
I was going to give you a really long one, but I decided to take it easy on you.
Okay.
So, all right. You see me once in June, twice in November, and not at all in May.
June, November. June, November. It's got to be a letter.
Can you give us a hint?
If I gave you a hint, I'd give it away.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Once in June, twice in November, and
not at all
in May.
Yeah. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
I'll let you have it.
E.
3 for 3.
To be fair, I said it was a letter. I knew it was a letter.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get there.
I felt so bad. I decided to take it easy on you guys this week. You went 3 for 3. So hopefully you do well in your brackets.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right? So congratulations.
We have his support.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Next week may not be so easy, so we'll see.
We'll have something to stress about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not feeling so well already. All right, well, that wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Remember, you can catch new episodes on the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version on iTunes or Spotify, and make sure to subscribe. Leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes.
Yeah, the Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown.
And I'm John McMinn.
And we'll see you next week.